Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Karaoke with Rob Marley. Oh, wait, that's a different... Never mind, that's a different Zoom. I'm in the wrong class. How is everybody? Thank you for being here.
Good.
We're gonna kind of do a slow start here because people are always late to the class, and that's perfectly fine. We're just happy that people think we're important enough to show up. So if they want to show up at 10 after, Rob, that would be perfectly
Sure.
fine
Why
with
not?
me.
What the hell?
These are, so just to give you the scoop here, Rob and I are coaches and voice actors with UVT coaching. We've been doing this for about 30 years, and we love to share what has worked for us, what hasn't worked for us. We always like to give a candid, a very genuine presentation of, how to really give yourself the best possible chance to succeed in voiceover, because there's so much snake oil being slung. Who thinks slung is a word? Raise your hand. Is slung a word? Okay. And the reason Rob and I got into the training part of voiceover, and Rob will be my witness, because Rob, we got just tired of people being given misinformation. Honestly, that was part of my motivation.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there trying to sound like they know what the hell they're doing. And a lot of them offer some really bad advice on how to get started in the business. And so that's kind of, yeah, I didn't get started to do this because of that, but it's definitely one of those things that keeps me around because there's so much bad information out there.
Yeah, and we're just going to spend an hour talking about the bad stuff. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So we love to do we basically try to do an intro class once a month and just make it just real casual fun. We'll take your questions. We're going to do a very short script read for anybody that wants to do a script read for Rob Marley, who's really strict on direction. I mean, you're going to hate him by the time he gets done with you.
Oh, yeah.
No, not really.
Yeah, I'm a stickler.
So we're going to do that. We're going to talk a little bit about marketing. We're going to talk about the importance of having a voiceover demo. That's going to be your number one marketing tool if you're really serious about doing this. And a lot of fun stuff. And we'll take some questions kind of along the way. We used to do these really long, like 25 slide PowerPoint presentations, and then people literally sent me hate mail, and they left really bad stuff at my doorstep. So we decided to just make it really kind of casual and fun. I kind of like this new format. Don't you, Rob?
Yeah, no, it's great. I think it's just a little bit lighter. It doesn't need to be so, I've been into way too many meetings where a guy just reads off the PowerPoint, and
Well, I've been to voiceover conferences where the speaker does that. And that's
yeah,
like,
so
oh my God, really? You're the guru?
Yeah. I like it. No, keep it light and easy and fun. That's what I want to do.
Excellent. Well, let's talk voiceover. And Anne, do you want to do me a favor? And do you have the link to the script?
It's already posted, but I will be happy to post it
Yeah,
again.
throw it
Oh,
in
no, I
there
see it. It's
again,
in the
just
chat
for anybody.
window. I
Yeah,
see it.
it's in the chat window. Those of you that did not get a chance to look at it, it's there now. That's gonna be the script that we're gonna work on in just a little bit here. So if anybody wants to be a volunteer performer, you'll raise the little cartoon virtual hand in the window once I get to you. We don't have time to have everybody read, but just for coaching purposes, we just kind of want to show you a little bit about how we coach talents. And it's always good to work with a coach. And Anne will probably be the first one to read because she likes to set the bar really high with her professional performances. So briefly about me, I came from the theater and radio. I spent a lot of years in both. So making the transition to voiceover was really quite easy for me, even though it's a different profession altogether. Rob, how about you? What was when did voiceover become your passion? Because you didn't really get started as a voice actor. You did other things.
No, I was a sound guy for an amusement park for many years. I learned how to, did a lot of sound for live bands and shows and stuff like that. And part of the job at this place was that we had to do spiels. We had to make announcements to tell people to move in the center of the theater and stuff like that. And so I got really good at being comfortable on microphone talking, especially because no one was looking directly at me. Like that's a nice thing because
Right.
they're all looking the opposite direction, right? So I'm
Yeah.
the guy in the booth in the back. So I got really comfortable being on mic, and I mean I knew the setup and stuff like that. And I'd always worked in like TV productions and video broadcasting and stuff, TV broadcasting and stuff like that. And they always needed voice artists. And so I was just the cheap, easy guy that was right there that they could use without having to hire somebody. And so one thing led to another, and I just started doing this, and I haven't looked back since.
It's crazy how you and I have kind of have that in common with the theme park stuff because I do a lot of announcements for theme parks
Yeah,
across the country.
I'm jealous of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 5 minutes, Styx will be taking the stage at the amphitheater in a
Wait, does
big,
Styx still
old
perform?
school radio announcery voice that I would never use on a coffee commercial.
It's great that's really kind of the last epoch of the announcer voice, unless you're
Yeah,
making
oh,
fun
yeah.
of it, is amusement park announcements. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very
and,
announcery.
That and automotive is still very announcery.
Automotive is all over the place, though.
It really is, yeah.
They try and be conversational, but
they try to
it's
be
too
dry and quirky.
Yeah, it's always interesting with automotive.
Very cool. Well, if you have questions, feel free to use the chat. Try to use it for voiceover related stuff and don't use it to share holiday recipes.
Oh darn!
I'm
I was
just
going to
kidding.
share.
You can just
share
do
my
it. You can
holiday
do whatever you
recipes.
want in the chat. We don't care. All right. Yeah, you can. But Anne, our queen moderator, will gather the questions and then we'll try to answer them at the end. And if you even want to ask one live, we hopefully will have time for that.
Our
as well.
moderatrix.
Yeah. So it's a good time to do the final class of the year because this is a time to start. If you're truly passionate about getting into voiceover work, this is a great time to start gathering what you need to do. And it all starts with training up front. I mean, I'm not saying that people can't be successful if they don't use a coach or do this and that, but it's really, Rob, it's really getting those performance skills as sharp as you possibly can. And then you do need something to market with, and that would be your voiceover demo.
That's absolutely. A lot of it takes more than having a great voice. In fact, having a great voice doesn't mean squat, to be honest. Having a great voice doesn't mean anything to being in the business. It's knowing how to use that voice. I say how to get your voice to hit the right eardrums at the right time. And
Right.
that
Well,
takes working with
perfect.
somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, we get people that come to us. Well, I've been in radio for 30 years. I mean, I said the same thing when I hired a coach back in the late 80s, early 90s. But just because you spent 30 years behind a microphone doesn't mean that you're an actor. There's a reason it's called voice acting. It's
Yeah.
two separate professions, and sometimes, we can be bullheaded. I was kind of a bullheaded radio guy way back in the 90s, and I thought I had it going on and that I could easily make the transition without any help. But what happened, Rob, is every single script I read sounded exactly like I was, broadcasting some urgent weather update or some
Yep.
breaking news.
And that's the problem.
That was not booking me any work whatsoever.
You and I have both worked with radio guys and TV guys, and they all have a certain announcer way of talking that doesn't sound at all normal. But they all think that that's the way they talk. I mean, and they're forced that way. They all kind of sound like they're on the radio and sound very announcery, and they don't understand why they're not getting work. And I mean, it takes some unlearning from all of those
Exactly.
years on being
Speaking
on
of
mic.
unlearning, you took the words right out of my mouth in a certain point of view, because I was just going to say what you need to do is fall out of love with your voice.
That's a good way to put it.
Don't fall too much into, because I get calls from a lot of guys that are, well, everybody's giving compliments on my voice at the store and at the gas station, at the bank, and I'm finally calling Rob Marley. I'm like, well, there is an acting skill that is involved. I mean, having a good voice, like Rob said, really isn't as big of a deal as maybe some blogs that you've read online, and there's a few of those. And we're going to do a few examples right now. In fact, I'm going to stop the share here and get to the grid here. So we've got a few volunteers. What we're going to have you do is we're going to have you do a read for the entire class, but mainly for Rob and I, and we'll just do a little coaching back and forth, if that works for you, and just to kind of set the tone, and hopefully Anne will purposely be really bad so we can go. No, I'm just kidding. What's
Terry,
that,
can you put the script up on screen? Maybe that'll make it easier for everybody in case they don't have the link or.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
And just put the screen up, the script
and
up.
then we'll have Anne kind of give us an example here. And then
yeah.
We'll, let me do a little screen share of the script.
No pressure, Anne, but like we're all watching you and we're all quietly judging you.
All right, here's the script right here. Winter Hearth. This is what I'm looking for here. This is a little different than the script that we had in the last class, because that one was kind of upbeat and kind of wild and hyper and everything like that. This one, I want a warm, laid-back, conversational read. Definitely put some cheer into the voice. And it's just kind of a cozy, intimate holiday read, you know, a commercial that you would see for those of you that are addicted to those Christmas movies on the Hallmark channel. And since, you know, news is so doom and gloom, no wonder these Hallmark channels have such high ratings. I'm not really that surprised. But here's your script. It's on the screen, and it's also, there's a link to it in the chat if you want to read it off there. And Anne, why don't you go ahead and just give it an example of basically not only for the class, but let's pretend, Anne, that this audition just hit your inbox. First of all, tell us briefly what you would do to prepare before you even record the audition.
First, warm up the voice. Second, make sure I read through the script 2 or 3 times just to get the words into my tongue. And then give myself a moment to think about the setting. Where am I? Who am I talking to?
Yes.
Who's this commercial or whatever it is? Who is this for? Who is this pointed towards? And then go from there.
That is just beautiful. That's just absolutely beautiful. So with that said, why don't you go ahead and do a read here, and then we'll give you some feedback.
And with your permission, I'm going to do a lead-in.
Okay.
Can't do a lead-in. No.
Tell us what a lead-in is before you do it.
Tell the class what a lead-in is.
Yeah, we have a lot of new talent,
class.
so tell us what a lead-in.
In case you don't know, and I'm sure some of you really do, a lead-in is a few words before you start the script to also help you set where you are, with whom you're speaking. It just sets the scene a little bit more.
Yeah, it's ad-libbing, really, because you're making up verbiage before the actual script. And I always like it because it gets you, that is a vocal warm-up all by itself. You're warmed up before the first word of the sentence.
Yeah, it's a line that leads into the existing line to make it sound more natural and more straightforward. Because a lot of times, especially with commercial copy, the opening line is kind of just thrown out there to catch the listener's attention. So putting a lead in on it makes more sense because it's more the way a human would talk.
When Rob and I direct demo sessions with our UVT students, we encourage people to do the lead in because it helps them kind of loosen up, be more confident, and then we don't have to do really as much editing later on.
Yeah. No, you want a natural read as much as possible.
Yeah, you're in the groove, you know. So without further interruption, Anne Gwynn, go for it.
Okay. Oh, baby, look. The lights are low. The tree is glowing. And the house smells like Christmas. Light a winter hearth candle. Soft notes of pine, spice, and cozy nights in. Winter hearth. Feel the season.
I'll tell you exactly what I loved about that script. Not only the pace and just that glowing relaxation thing, but Rob, I loved when she whispered Christmas because nobody really told her to do that, and it really worked.
Yeah, no, that's it's setting a lead in like that helps you kind of get in tone with what they're going for, understanding what the finished product looks like is important. You know, you want to be on the same page as the producer, and I think that was the right thing to do. And I think the opening lines, I think you were still trying to find your voice. You're still, you know, it was the first time through. I mean, it's a cold read for crying out loud. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, that's amazing as a cold read.
Yeah.
But by the end, I was hearing that soft, loving, warm, golden voice that voice that I love about you anyway. I was hearing that, and you settled into the groove. It was a little rough to begin with, but then you settled into the groove, and I just like that, nice, loving feel to it. That was really
Let's
good.
do just like we would do either in a coaching session or those of you that are just new to voiceover altogether. This doesn't just happen. What we're doing right now doesn't just happen in coaching sessions. This happens frequently in live directed sessions from clients.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
If you book a gig and somebody from the ad agency is on directing, more than likely the creative director or the team. Sometimes there's 2 or 3 people. Sometimes there's too many chefs in the kitchen. But that's another story. But this is kind of an example of what they do. So now what we'll have Ann do based on that feedback is just do one more read of this.
Yeah.
And maybe just a little more cheer in the voice, Ann. But when I say cheer, that doesn't mean hopped up, hyper, excitable. Just a little more glow to it.
A little more smile in the voice.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I can. The lights are low, the tree is glowing, and the house smells like Christmas. Light a winter hearth candle, soft notes of pine, spice, and cozy nights in. Winter hearth, feel the season.
That was good, Ann. That was
Very
good.
nice. Now, I know this is supposed to get me excited about buying a candle, but it makes me want to have a glass of bourbon.
You know what?
Okay.
I'd say it could be a very similar read.
Oh yeah,
For a
very
booze
much.
for a bourbon spot. I definitely it's a
Booze
soft
commercials do have that kind of like late night blue. I have my own blues show kind of thing, you know.
It's kind of a pillow talk voice. It's softer. It's a little more intimate, and
Good word.
that works. That works for that.
Pillow Talk with Rob Marley
Oh,
will begin
God,
in
no.
5 minutes. Yes, Rob has a new podcast called Pillow Talk. You can catch it on.
Pillow talk with Rob Marley.
Yes. Well, let's go to James, who's got his hand up, and we'll take a couple people right now, and then hopefully we can come back later and take a few other performers because we want to get to some other stuff as well.
Yeah.
But James, good evening and happy holidays.
Good evening. Happy holidays.
Hey, James.
Thanks for
How you
being
doing?
here, man.
Let's see what you can do with this.
Pressure's
All right,
on,
let's
man.
go.
Rob's cracking the whip already, and you haven't even read anything yet. What a jerk.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's jump right into it.
All right, cool, man. Go for it.
The lights are low. The tree is glowing. And the house smells like Christmas. Light a winter hearth candle. Soft notes of pine, spice, and cozy nights in. Winter hearth. Feel the season.
Okay, that was good. The last line kind of rang a little false in my mind because it's Selly, you know. Winter hearth, feel the season. That line is Selly, and it's tough to make it not sound Selly when it's already Selly to begin with. So think of it more as an emotional state, like you're telling. I mean, you're inviting somebody to really embrace, you know, all everything that the season brings. So, you know, like open your arms and like you're welcoming somebody. Feel the season, you know, that kind of it's kind of a delivery to it. Go a little slower with the read. Be a little bit more deliberate with what you're saying. Normally, I say be more relaxed, but this I think needs a little bit more of a deliberate kind of a tone. So try that. Make just some quick adjustments like that. Go a little slower, and let's hear it one more time.
Okay. The lights are low. The tree is glowing. And the house smells like Christmas. Light a winter hearth candle. Soft notes of pine, spice, and cozy nights in. Winter hearth. Feel the season.
Yeah, I was a little
Well,
better. I was a little better.
Yeah.
The light a winter hearth candle. That line is the call to action in the spot. That's where you're physically telling somebody to do something. And most commercials have a call to action. You know, test drive the new whatever. Visit such and such.com. Those are calls to action. So you're telling somebody to do something. So don't just say the lines, but think of it as you're instructing somebody. Hey, here, light a winter hearth candle.
Light a winter
And
hearth candle. Okay.
yeah, that's exactly it. And then just nice and soft, or nice and easy with the delivery that you don't have to sell it so much. You're just kind of expressing it. And that's the idea is you're not trying to sell the candle, you're trying to sell the emotion behind the candle that this candle brings,
Okay.
But that was good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very
Thank you.
cool. Let's Anne, do we have any questions in the chat? We could take one, and then what I want to do here in just a couple of moments is play you, because we always talk about the importance of having a voiceover demo if you want to get on a talent agency roster. It's good for direct marketing. Anybody who's going to want to send you auditions or book you for any kind of voiceover work is going to want to hear that voiceover demo. And I just want to play you a brief sample of some of the demos that we've done at UVT, just so you can see everybody's hear a few, vocal range, and just hear how versatile and how they make transitions and all that fun stuff. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But Anne, do we have any questions that we can answer from the chat before we do that?
No, sir, not yet.
Not
I'm
yet.
a
All right.
waiting. Come on, y'all.
All right, yeah. Those of you that have questions voiceover related, I know we haven't covered everything related to voiceover yet, but you can always feel free to throw them in the chat. Well, why don't
And
we
don't be shy.
Why don't we let's do another read here. Why don't we go to Anthony Long and do a read from Anthony. Anthony, do you still have the script? I guess I can put it back up.
Yes, I do have the script.
Okay, you do have the script here. Let's get that back up there. Okay, Anthony, let's go ahead and take it from the top whenever you're ready.
All right. The lights are low. The tree is glowing, and the house smells like Christmas. Light a winter hearth candle. Soft notes of pine, spice, and cozy nights in. Winter hearth, feel the season.
You know what? I like that. That was again, it was a little fast. That's the first. I mean, everybody is every voice actor goes too fast because it just seems weird to go slower than that. That seemed like a normal pace, but it's a little quick. But that was beautiful. I like that intimate sound. It doesn't need to be full voice. In fact, it needs to be almost a whisper, not the breathy whisper, but like you're trying to keep your voice down because it's late night and you don't want to disturb whoever, and it's you're soften your voice and you get a little maybe you get a little closer to the microphone as a technique, but that sound works really well. So try that same kind of read that you've got, just go a little slower.
I'd like to hear,
go ahead.
like let's say I'm going to use a music reference here. I'd like to throw out just a couple of additional notes
Okay.
in there. I felt that it got me in the mood, honestly, for Christmas, but I would like to hear just a little more inflection, like a couple of more notes. It's leaning a little too close to a one note read for me.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you an example, Anthony. The lights are low. The tree is glowing. See how different those lines are?
Mm-hmm.
Not that different, but different enough to make a really nice effect.
Right.
Try to do
Also-
something like that. Go ahead, Rob.
Also, key thing, I think a good line is, and the house smells like Christmas. It's doing the rule of three. You've got the three things going on here. The lights are low, the tree is glowing, and the house smells like Christmas. So the last item should be more emphasis. And by doing that, I think that's where just putting a smile on your face as you say, and the house smells like Christmas. Did that, put that smile on your face as you say it, and that'll soften what the line that you're saying. So let's try it one more time.
The lights are low. The tree is glowing, and the house smells like Christmas. Light a winter hearth candle. Soft notes of pine, spice, and cozy nights in. Winter hearth, feel the season.
That was good. That was good. I always
That was a lot better.
I always have to
Thank
like
you.
close my eyes and look away, even though Anthony didn't have his camera on. I still have to just listen to the sound, and that was good. This spot is good to do in a slow, deliberate kind of manner. I think it works better that way. So that was great, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I love this graphic. Wow, check out these demos.
Wow, look at it. Yeah, well, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna just this is gonna be about 4 minutes, and what I want you guys to listen for is the variety. We're gonna start off with Rebecca Lee, who's a nationally renowned voice talent, and she's just
there's
fantastic.
some amazing talent in this sampler, and
Well, you
and
hear it doesn't matter what network you're watching. Rebecca's on all the time. All her
Yeah.
commercials are. She's going to be the first one. Did her demo quite a few years ago, and it was just a huge smash with agencies and all the big ones like Atlas in LA. And then there's going to be you're going to hear some character demos too, some video game character demo, and then an excellent radio imaging one that Rob had produced for a talent of ours that'll kind of end this. So let's just take a listen, and I want you to just really listen to the transitions, especially this first one with Rebecca Lee and how she goes from one clip to the next, because talent agents love variety and versatility on a demo. Let's take a listen.
The grins and giggles they let out as soon as the lotion touches their skin are magical. Soft skin with so many smiles. Aveeno Baby Lotion. At Trader Joe's, we know quality and price are both equally important, which is why you get the best of both when you shop with us. Trader Joe's. Why settle for biting into a chocolate-covered cherry when we've given you the chance to drink one? Sexual Chocolate Red. Available at Total Wine.
We've lost too many to just give up. We must keep fighting if we want to live in a world free of this evil and hate. Who's with me? You must ride due east for 3 days until a large waterfall will show its beauty where the sun sets. At first light, you must fire the arrow of hope into the waterfall and kill the beast that lives there once and for all. What could you possibly have to offer me, peasant? This armor is fit for a true warrior, not some lost little boy like you. War is horrific. It will change your life in ways you cannot imagine. Being prepared for battle is one thing, boys, but being excited for it is a feeling you should never have. You heed these words and you never forget them.
There's nothing like the roar of a Harley. It's more than a motorcycle. It's freedom, adventure, and the open road calling your name. Harley-Davidson isn't just a ride, it's a lifestyle.
Tired of walking to the fridge and feeling like you've run a marathon? Ever blink so slowly your friends think you're buffering? Crush that slump with Monster Energy Drink. One sip and you'll go from couch potato to human tornado. Monster Energy, unleash the beast!
Immerse your life in the sound you love.
Here we go, let's go.
Next level spatial audio that hits from every direction. Era 300 connects you to your music like never before. Feel the sound all around, now at Sonos.com.
Wait, hold up. Extreme Sport Ice? No. Try this. Go ahead. Take a whiff. Right? Vanilla and coconut. Native all-natural products for body, hair, and skin leave you feeling clean, fresh, and smelling like real things. It's not a mystery. It's native.
Of course you fell for my charade. Heroes are always so busy heroing that they miss the little details. That's how I was able to trap you and kill you. Oh wait, we haven't got to that second part yet. But we will.
They tell me you're only as old as you feel. Well, then I must be older than dirt. I got angina, bursitis, arthritis, diverticulitis, and the gout. And that's just the stuff I can pronounce.
We love the music.
If it's the greatest hits you hear in the car, it can only be Q105 FM, Atlanta's best music. Listen to the Eagle weekdays for a chance to win $1,000. $1,000.
Enter a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo right here that basically says the same thing. Just listen to the Eagle Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. for a chance to win $1,000. Void where prohibited. Your mileage may vary. Don't forget to floss, eat your vegetables.
Music that doesn't suck. Z-Rock 103. Download our free app and take K-Rock with you wherever you go.
Except maybe not to a funeral. That's kind of awkward.
What, the truth? You can't handle the truth. The truth is that Mix 107 plays the most hits, more than any other station. Oh, wait, that's not what you were asking about?
Oh, amazing. And what's amazing about those talents, Rob, whether it would be radio imaging, video game character demo, commercial demo, which we heard all three, is the different styles of personality and performance in all those demos.
That's really, I think, a key thing in a demo is that, I mean, a demo is is a demonstration of your skills as a voice actor. You can't be a one-trick pony on your demo. You have to show a range of what you can produce. And I think this is a perfect example. Milena was incredible in there, and Tomcat is just a freaking chameleon. I swear, his first of all, he's got a spot on Gandalf. I mean, that is a Gandalf voice. Even if he wasn't doing Gandalf, I heard Gandalf. You know, and yeah, it's important to show a variety of styles and delivery styles that you can give, because no one wants to work with a person that can only do, you know, one note. You know, they want all the music. So showing a range is an important part, and I think this really shows it well.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got some questions in the chat, and why don't we answer a couple of them, and then we can go back and have somebody do a script read for us for coaching purposes, and then we can talk about some other stuff as well. Go ahead, Ann.
I've got one that literally just popped up, and it. Hold on just a second. My computer's being weird. Figure that. Is it okay to make a DIY demo?
I wouldn't recommend it unless you're just doing voiceover as a hobby and for fun and something, you know, that you just want to impress your siblings and friends, and that's okay. But if this is something that you really want to make money at and be successful at, or even if you're just doing it part-time, I'm not saying, you know, that maybe you're happy with your day job, and that's fine. We have a lot of talents that we work with that love their day job and they want to do voiceovers on the side, which is great. But doing your own demo, for one thing, talent agents will be able to hear that you did it by yourself in 3 seconds flat. They'll know.
Oh, yeah.
They're pros. They've got professional ears. You want to get it done professionally. I can, Rob, because people send Rob and I emails asking us to review their demos, and we're always happy to do that. But, Rob, we can tell within the first couple of seconds whether they have any shot.
There's a lot of tells that to somebody who listens to demos all day every day. I mean, I can tell in seconds that okay, this is homemade, and that's not a deal breaker necessarily. I mean, you can have a homemade demo and still show off your talent. It's the talent that is the selling point. But a professional demo is going to sound like you're professional. A professional demo is going to sound like you're not here. You didn't get here last night. It's going to establish yourself and make and give the impression to the people you send it to that you know what you're doing. Because if as a producer I hear a demo that uses a script from like one of the practice libraries that are out there,
and there's
Edge
Studio
Edge
scripts.
Studio. Yeah, if there's an Edge Studio, I mean, I think I know most of Edge Studio scripts by heart, because we all do.
Right.
If that's in your demo and I hear it and I know, or the worst thing is using copy of a real commercial, just stealing the copy and recording it and laying it down and saying, "Oh, look, I can do this," but to a producer, you risk maybe sending it to somebody that actually produced that commercial, and that pretty much guarantees you're not going to get a job with them. So no, there's a lot of tells, and that's why you need to work with somebody who can show you what you're doing right and wrong, and put together a demo that really showcases your talents the right way.
Yeah, and when I produce, I do most of the demos for UVT, and I try to make it sound like every clip on the demo is a real commercial, even though we all know that it's not. It needs to sound pretty damn close, especially if you want to get on with a good talent agency. Now, I've been mentioning talent agents. They're not, you can go throughout your entire VO career and never get on one roster and still make a pretty good living doing voiceover. So don't ever, when you get turned down by a talent agent, Rob and I get turned down. We've been in the business doing fine for 30 years. It's kind of part of the game. Me personally, 80% of my annual income comes by way of direct marketing. I work directly with the client, usually most of the time. With that, just get a little spattering of agency work from my local agent Wayman here in the Minneapolis area. But you do have to learn how to, market yourself and send that professional demo out to clients themselves. So it's good to get on talent agency rosters. I mean, agents, there's so many of them that have become like friends of mine. I've known them forever. I'm not poo-pooing agencies. They're a big part of the business, but don't run in a corner and feel awful about yourself if you don't get on a talent agency roster, because there's workarounds, and that's by way of direct marketing.
Absolutely. I think an agent helps you get access to auditions and jobs that you wouldn't normally find on your own.
Right. Really big brands.
The regional and the national spots, the big brands, stuff like that. And that's great. But you don't need that. You don't need to have agents, to make good money. You just have to know how to market yourself. And to an agent, that's going to, if you present yourself to an agent with a body of work that you've done on your own, that tells an agent much more than any demo will ever do. It's because they want to hire people, or they want to sign people that they think are going to book work. So if you can show them that you're booking work, that's the way to get an agent. So the way to book work is to be good, to show that you can book at the local level, at the mom and pop Mexican restaurant down the street, and at the TV station and stuff like that, and then go to an agent and say, look what I can do. An agent is going to sign you. Absolutely.
Yes, Justin, that is a humidifier behind me. That's not a meth lab.
It's a bong.
Yeah. Well,
it's a bong.
Honestly, happy holidays. I wish it was. But Todd's got a good question here, because I've gotten this before. Well, what if you're also a producer on the self demos? Even if you're like an audio engineering, you have to ask yourself, well, are my performance skills where they need to be? You might be able to produce a pretty damn good track of audio. Engineering wise, it might sound awesome, but do you sound awesome? Do your reads sound awesome on it? Because I've had audio engineers from offsite studios come to us here at UVT because they tried to produce their own demo, and it sounded, of course, phenomenal because they're engineers, right? But the reads were terrible. They just were, and they admitted it. They admitted it.
And that's part of the problem with that, is that they sound overproduced. If you can hide a bad read with a lot of compression and a lot of production stuff around it, and music and sound effects and stuff like that, but to anybody in the know, they're going to go, they're hiding something. So, and that's the problem, is that sometimes they just sound overproduced.
And that's a tell too. A lot of compression, which you can. I use a little bit on voiceover demos, but more on music stuff more than.
Radio imaging! I'm squeezing the hell out of it, man.
Oh yeah, you're using limiters and compressors.
Oh, make it crunchy. That's my saying.
And tons of saturation and.
Oh yeah.
But this is actually a good question about the humidifier, since it's on. Somebody, I think Justin followed up with a serious question. Do you recommend having a humidifier in your recording? Yeah, well, I live in Minnesota, so the answer is yes. We just had 4 or 5 days in a row where the high was -1.
Oh my
so
God.
It gets very dry.
That's
in
the
here.
high. That's
that was
the high.
And by the way, that's not the feel like temperature with the wind chill.
Oh yeah, no, feel like you feel like you're dead. That's
but
basically
everybody was dancing in the streets yesterday because it was like 43. So
what? I say,
recommend it. It does really help a lot. You got to watch, because some of them can be a little noisy. Yeah, but it definitely really helps.
One of the things that I've used before, steam up the shower, breathe in the shower, work on some vocal exercises in the shower to warm up your vocal cords. One of the things that I've used is I have a Vicks steam inhaler. And it's it looks like it's like a little mini crock pot, and it's got a weird little mouthpiece on it, and you put a cup of, distilled water in it, and it produces steam, and you breathe in the steam. And for me, that was a great way to warm up my vocal cords, to hydrate the vocal folds and stuff like that, especially when it's cold and dry and all that stuff going on in winter. So yeah, steam inhaler, or hell, just take a towel and hang over the tea kettle. I did that too. And breathing in steam is a great way to warm up the voice and hydrate everything in your head.
Very good. Well, speaking of Justin, why don't we have him do a read since his hand's up?
Justin!
We can just go ahead and have him read that script. Justin, you want to give this a go?
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Are you sure? You sound a little unsure of yourself.
Sorry, I was a little off guard.
You're good. You're good.
The lights are low. The tree is... Oh, sorry. Forgot my microphone was over here.
Minor detail.
I'll put the screen, the script back up too. So, yeah, go for it, man.
The lights are low. The tree is glowing. And the house smells like Christmas. Light a winter hearth candle. Soft notes of pine, spice, and cozy nights in. Winter hearth. Feel the season.
I like that. It was a little more commercial sounding on that one. Not quite so intimate pillow talky, but it was a little more commercial. But I like the tone of your voice. This spot especially is a good one to go slow on. I mean, it's not much. Yeah. It's not much copy. It's not a 15, but it ain't a 30. So go slow with the delivery, and I think that works. I like the tone of your voice for this one. Something about Justin. I don't know what it was, but something about your tone.
Just imagine having.
It's the advantage of having that bass voice that just kind of reverberates. I've gotten comments from directors and stage productions.
That's great. You know what? That is something that you need to watch though. You don't want to come across as too bassy. And I know a lot of guys
or project too much because we've worked with talent. I worked with a guy just real quickly here, huge theater actor, right? But everything he read, it was almost like coming from radio, where everything he read sounded like he was playing Shakespeare, and he was projecting. You know, he was like Henry V in every single commercial read.
You know,
he was great, but it was so hard for him to get down to earth to do, for example, a script like this.
I think part of the problem with that is that stage actors are trained to address the guy in the last row. You're talking to the back of the house. Yeah. But in voiceover, that person is 2 feet in front of you, 3 feet away. So you don't need to project your voice if he's standing right in front of you, So knowing how to, knowing where the person is, knowing who you're talking to is an important part. Creative visualization is something I use every time I'm doing a read. I'm picturing the person that I'm addressing when I'm doing it.
Well, by the way, guess what's on in the background. You ready? Let's see if you can guess the movie, Rob. Here's the line. Ready? Johnny Ringo. You look like someone just walked over your grave.
That's a Christmas movie. I love Tombstone. That's a great movie.
Tombstone, Val Kilmer. Yeah.
Oh God, he was so good in that.
One of my favorite lines. You look like someone just walked over your grave. All right, that had nothing to do with anything. Anyway, but why don't we have let's have Justin do one more read of this.
Yeah,
then with
Justin,
with
one
that,
more.
After that
go
feedback.
a little slow. Go a little slower with the read on this one. But I liked your tone. Just keep that tone. Go a little slower.
The lights are low. The tree is glowing, and the house smells like Christmas. Light a winter hearth candle. Soft notes of pine, spice, and cozy nights in. Winter hearth. Feel the season.
Okay. Good. I always say I don't look at the person when they're talking. I looked at you this time, and I noticed you're not smiling. So this one especially, I mean, it's easy to do when you're in the Christmas holidays already, but sometimes you get these kind of reads, or especially you get Christmas spots in August. You start seeing auditions for Christmas reads in like August and September, and it's hard to get in the Christmas spirit. But that's the idea. You have to you have to get in that mood. You have to get in that zone and feel the velvet on the stockings hanging on the mantle, smell the pine tree, taste the eggnog. You got to get in that Christmas spirit, because that's going to change the sound of your voice. It's going to soften. It's going to give it more of a warm golden kind of feel to it, and that is part of what you need to do to make your voice hit the right way. Just smiling is definitely one way to do it, but there's more to it. You have to really kind of get in the mood.
It's funny that you mentioned the Christmas stuff early, because I did all the Stone Mountain Park holiday promos in March.
March, good Lord.
Yep. Sometimes I mean, a year is kind of extreme, but it's not out of the ordinary that for anything Christmas related that you do them 6-7 months before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Anne, do we have a question?
I got one. Yes, there was one that somebody asked. But Anne, go ahead. Oh, look at that look.
Nice.
Wow,
I mean, come
pissed
on,
off
y'all.
Ann.
Well, yeah, come on. Stick to
there
your
are a
yeah,
few
stay
that
in
are
your
ahead
lane.
of the question I know you want to talk about. So just
Marley
give me
needs
a
to
second.
stay in his lane.
I'll just shut the hell up.
Stay
and
in
go
your
roll.
lane. Stay in your lane. Okay. So James is wondering, when are breaths okay? I assume you're talking about an audition or something like that. But when is it okay to have your breaths in there?
I don't usually worry about it too much on my end because I usually will edit really big ones out. You don't want to, speaking of which, you don't want to edit all the breaths out. I think it's important that people know that we're human.
Yes.
So even if there's like a subtle breath, and you'll hear that even in commercials. But if you're like a big, you got to get rid of that, and then just add some silent space in there, and then just edit the two words closer together so it sounds. The key though, and once you really get good at the editing, is to make it sound natural, because sometimes it can sound really choppy when you're taking breaths out. But Rob, I don't know your approach to breaths. I know I'm kind of sort of answering his question and going into the editing process, but
it depends. If it's a conversational delivery, if that's the read needs to be conversational, then yeah, you want to leave the breaths in because it shows that you're a human. Breathing before an opening line, like a paragraph, I get it. I usually cut those out. But if it's taking a breath mid-sentence to catch my breath to say something else, and then I do that, I'll leave those in. Sometimes I tone them down just a little bit in volume because you don't want to come across sounding gaspy, And in long format narration, that's one of the things that you end up doing is you just start taking deep breaths between every line because you're just trying to get more oxygen to get through the copy. So keep it down a little bit.
That's okay for commercial and for character scripts?
Character stuff, absolutely. You want to leave the breaths in because it adds more character to the read. But again, it depends. If it's a narration thing, I would normally leave those out. But commercial stuff, I get rid of the opening breath and leave the breaths in the middle of it, and maybe turn them down. That's about it.
Very cool. All right, we're going to come back with
James.
more questions, and hopefully maybe you have time for another script read. But I need everybody to do me a huge favor, and on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, go to uvtvirtual.com. I want to share with you a program that we started well over a year ago now, Rob, for people that are kind of on a budget where they want to kind of get their toes wet a little bit and dive into some really awesome voiceover training without breaking the bank, so to speak. And we just want to share this with you, what we're doing here. So we call it the UVT Virtual VO Lab, and it's basically an online-based training. You get videos sent to your inbox every other week. But where people benefit the most from this program, and maybe there's a few of you that are already in UVT Virtual that want to chime in the chat, and that would be fine too. But we do 3 live voiceover classes every month, and we even do an improv class like every other month with our buddy John Haynes, who does an excellent job. That alone, for any other company in the country, would cost you probably about $700 a month, just for those classes. $30 a month for a UVT Virtual VO Lab membership. I also hand out script assignments, if not every week, every other week, where I'll send you a script via email. I'll give you some thorough performance instruction, and then you go and record the script. You email me the file, and then I give you some feedback, and we kind of do a virtual back and forth. And people just absolutely love the homework. And occasionally, just like lately, with a meditation and now an animated explainer opportunity, we even throw auditions your way. It's never guaranteed, but when we have something that puts us in a position to give back to the community, we certainly do that. So it's called UVT VO Virtual Lab, and hit the join now button and you can sign up for it. And the beauty of this is if you're on a couple of months and you're like, oh, this sucks, I want to cancel, well, you can go ahead and cancel. We're not locking you into a big 5-6 year contract. But Rob, it is a fairly affordable way to get your feet wet doing voiceover, and I wish to hell that something like this existed when I started in 1990.
It's not a fairly affordable way. It's a dirt cheap way to get great information. I mean, it's yeah, absolutely. I wish I had this when I first got started, because it would have saved me making a lot of mistakes, you know. And I think that's really what this course is all about. Is it's like learn from our mistakes. You know, here's what not to do, and here's how to do it right. And having that information at your fingertips. Available when you can see it, when it's convenient for you. You're not having to sign up or attend a webinar or anything like that. You watch these videos, maybe you attend the group classes. I mean, it's great information that is it's just dirt cheap. It's crazy. I wish I had this when I first got started.
The classes are great. And then if you're looking at the second screenshot that I put up here, that's basically some of the subjects in the VO Lab curriculum. These are the videos that you'll get. You know, everybody has questions on voiceover rates. What do you charge for a voiceover? How do you get on a talent agency roster? How to set up your home voiceover recording studio? How do you get into character work? And it's really awesome. And we do have a bonus, a holiday bonus for you tonight. I'm going to try to stay away from my voiceover, Captain Voiceover voice, if that makes sense. And there's a holiday bonus.
Captain Voiceover. I like
But if you guys sign up tonight, you'll get a free one-on-one voiceover coaching with either Rob, myself, or even Garnett or Amy. We do have 5 terrific coaches on the UVT staff. You'll also get a bonus 60-minute voiceover marketing course. It's video, but it's absolutely fantastic. And I will send you Terry Daniels' VO Magic Stack. That's basically what that is. It's a plugin stack recommendation. So if you're using Adobe Audition, Pro Tools, or Audacity, it's basically a way that you can instantly make your audio sound better. It's not one of those, you know, those ads that you see on Facebook where you push a button and suddenly you sound like you're recording in a studio in LA somewhere. But it is really helpful if you have like not so great equipment and you just want to hear what improved sound sounds like. You know, we'll give you all these bonuses if you sign up tonight. So click that join now button. $30 a month for the best online training on the planet. Tons of group classes. And again, an affordable way to just kind of let you kind of see what this is all about. And then, as I've mentioned before, you know, you're not obligated. You're not obligated to stay with us for 2 years. If you don't like it, you can cancel anytime. Yes, Ann Gwynn.
Thank you. That's one of the really lovely things about this program, I think, is that, number one, you can plug into it whenever you want, whenever you have time, whenever your brain says, okay, I can absorb some more. And you work a little bit, you absorb, you go away for a while, you come back. It's all there, and it will be there until you're ready for it and until you're ready to learn. And it's all on your own, all on your own time, your own energies. And it's just so affordable and so easy. Besides, we're a hell of a lot of fun.
No, it is. So
just saying.
We would appreciate it. Try it tonight. That would be great. UVTvirtual.com. Sign up. You won't regret it. And do we have another question in the chat area?
Yes. Wonderful, there is a question that Rob has been dying to answer.
I have permission to answer it now?
Yes, dear. You have you have Mama's permission to answer.
Thank you, Anne.
You can see the drool dripping from his beard.
All right. So Shelby asks, for someone who's soon to be fresh out of high school, do you suggest anything college related or something along those lines for future career in voice acting? Yes, acting. That is the first one. First and foremost, learn acting. You don't need to be, Shakespeare in the park and all that stuff, but you need to understand the foundations of building a good character, a believable character, of being honest, and learning how to ignore the fact that 3,000 people may be watching you step on stage. Learning how to act. I mean, it's in the name, voice acting. So learning how to act is an important one. Improv is a great one. If there's an improv class or something at the university that you're going to, take it. Learn as much as you can about acting and improv, and then I got to give it a shout out to the technical side. Learn, audio production. Learn a little bit about. You don't need to be a big mixer, but learn how it all works, because understanding the technical side can save you in an emergency. It can save your ass and make you look like a hero when something goes sideways. So it's a good idea to understand the technical side. Again, you don't need to get into electronics theory or anything like that, but learn electronics theory. I don't know what the hell that is.
Sounds pretty powerful. I like that.
But no, learning audio production or a little bit of sound production, I think is a helpful thing. But acting is the big one. Acting, and then business. Take business classes, because you're running a business. It's a one-man band, and it's on you whether or not you succeed or fail. So knowing how business works, knowing how marketing works, all of those things are very useful. And at a university, they're giving you this information. It's right there in front of you. So once you get out of a university, then you start needing to pay for courses on how to do marketing and all that stuff. So take as much as you can when you're in school to prepare yourself, marketing and all of that business. So. Yeah, so is that a good enough answer?
That's a good enough answer. That's a very, very, very good answer. And do we have another question in there?
Thank you.
Yes, we do. Yes, sir. John Paul was wondering about beginning equipment suggestions, mic interface, computer programs.
We always like the Rode mics. The Rode NT1 is a really user-friendly, affordable mic, and the Scarlett 2i2 interface. I think it's on 3rd generation now. Now it's got its own console, like the Apollo Twin, which is kind of cool.
The NT1's on the 5th generation now.
5th generation, yes. And Rob, that's a good combo to start with, don't you think?
The NT1's fantastic. I talk about this all the time. They're a company out of Australia that basically stole Neumann's design and make it cheaper. And I mean, it's a quality microphone. They do a lot of different mics for production stuff, but the NT1 is a good, solid workhorse of a mic. It's very sensitive, but it's going to last you years, and it's great for voice artists. So that, and it combined with a Focusrite makes good interfaces that are built like tanks. They really are designed to be kicked around on a stage. So you don't even need the 2i2. Most people grab the 2i2 thinking that they're going to need a second input at some point, but the Focusrite Solo is cheaper and does the exact same thing. So
that just does the one mic input, right?
It's got a mic input and a high Z input, so you can plug in a guitar and a microphone and do it be on stage.
That's like the Apollo Twin X is like that too. It's really microphone,
Rob,
and
guitar. Yes, ma'am.
I will give you what Jan told me about the 2i2 is to have the 2i2 in case one of your channels goes out. Then you've automatically got a backup.
Absolutely. You got redundancy. And I agree with that, but I have never heard of a channel dying on a 2-input interface. I mean, maybe on a big console. I've had channels go out on a console. And then you absolutely want backup and redundancy, but it's nice.
It's pretty unheard of, especially you're on the 5th generation one now, and
on Focusrite stuff. Yeah. The one thing that is nice on a 2i2 is later on, if you have maybe a shotgun that you're doing for promotion or promo work, and you have a dynamic. Or a large, like a condenser or a microphone like a TLM 103. You could have a 416 and a 103 on a bar, and have them both plugged into the preamp, and not have to unplug one and plug the other one in. So I mean, yeah, there's advantages there, but when you're first getting started, a single input's really all you need. You don't need a lot of stuff. One channel's fine. I mean, I agree, but if you're trying to save money, get the Solo.
And also, if you're looking for deals, always look on Sweetwater.com.
Oh yeah.
They have sales all the time, and you can get really decent equipment for less.
And they have they have really good customer service, and then
they're fantastic people.
When you call customer service, you're actually talking to an audio engineer that knows what they're talking about, so that's really helpful. Musician's Friend is pretty good too.
Yeah, Musician's Friend is good.
But Sweetwater, the thing with Sweetwater is once you buy something, somebody calls you 3 times a day to see if it's going okay.
Usually that's
the head
fine. Sales guy.
It's a little over the top, like my emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be pretty extreme. But
I really appreciate their customer service. They really feel like I really feel like they're working with me and I'm not just a number in their database. I really like them for that.
I got my Apollo Twin X. I bought my 416 from Sweetwater. All of it.
It's very easy to just go to Amazon and have it here in 2 or 3 days. But I rather support a smaller company. I'd rather support these guys because they've been in the business and they struggle and they work hard and they give you a little bag of candy, with every order, which is kind of nice.
Definitely.
I love the Smarties.
I'm sorry, but Jeff Bezos isn't going to walk you through a technical issue.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Whatever.
So get it from Sweetwater. All right, we're running a little late, and we apologize for that.
What a surprise!
We're not going to have time to do another performance, but why don't we sneak one more question in from Anne, and then again, don't forget to sign up for UVT Virtual VO Lab and get those bonuses tonight. It'll be worth it. Anne?
Joshua was asking, whoa, my screen moved.
How
much will temperature changes affect equipment?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, somebody coming from the frozen tundra. I mean, here in Austin, it was, in the hundreds. It just felt like forever. We get Austin gets like 9 months of summer and Terry gets 9 months of winter. So, but I mean, most of my equipment is kind of, temperature controlled anyway. I've worked with sound equipment in the blazing sun and the freezing cold, and it really doesn't affect it too much other than the flexibility of cables. I don't really it doesn't seem to affect the equipment. The sound changes, the sonic quality of the sound changes depending on the temperature, but not necessarily the gear. I think you're fine.
Yeah, and there's no way I would go out to my patio and try to record when it's below.
You'd
too
die.
Below and I think I'll leave my mic out there and see if it survives.
You open the slider on your door and it's just like Hoth out there.
Oh, yeah, it is totally Planet Hoth out there, because it's funny, we've got a small lake in front of us and it's so dark at night. It's just
Is it
creepy.
Frozen over yet? I mean, does the lake freeze?
Oh yeah, there's snowmobiles going on it all the time.
You go ice skating?
No, I don't go ice skating.
Ice fishing or something. Whatever.
What I like to do when it's really busy with snowmobilers, I like to go out there with my sled and just sit there.
Terry speed bump Daniel.
Daniel's sitting in the middle on the sled with his doobie in his mouth.
Oh God!
Just kidding. But hey, happy holidays, everybody! And seriously, we really appreciate all of you who took time out of your Wednesday evening to join us tonight. I know there's always better things to do on a Wednesday evening than sit on Zoom with a bunch of strangers, but I was really delighted to see that you decided to spend some time with us. So we'll talk to you soon. If anybody has questions, you can always email me as well, Terry, Terry, at UVTcoaching.com. Hopefully we will see you in the UVT Virtual VO Lab members area. Make sure to sign up for that tonight. We really appreciate it. It helps us help you. You get free coaching from Rob, who's one of the best in the business, and he hates hearing that.
Yes, I do.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Rob, thank you for joining me, and thank you for your help, as always.
Thank you, Ann.
And thank you for those of you that volunteered to perform. We apologize that we didn't get a chance to get to everybody, but we'll do another one next month too. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you real soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Everybody.